Good morning, dear students. I am Anurita Singh and I will teach you English. I hope you all are safe, healthy, and doing well. After a long gap, let's resume our studies from today. So, today we will be dealing with the poem titled The Lost Dances of Cranes, written by Juliet Wilson. Juliet Wilson is a great poet who was born in Manchester and who lives in Edinburgh. She is an environmentalist and writes environmental poetry. And this poem, The Lost Dances of Cranes, shows her concern and extreme pain and distress over the destruction of the environment. Dear children, we all love to hear stories, and I guess every one of you must have heard about the story of Crane and the Fox. And I also hope every one of you must be knowing how a crane looks like. Many of us have never seen cranes. You know why? Children, actually, due to increasing urbanization, the habitat of crane is getting destroyed, and so they have been listed as endangered birds. Now, we all know about homophones. Homophones are words which spell the same but mean differently. So, try to think of other meaning of the crane. Yes, the other crane is a big machine used for lifting heavy objects by means of ropes and cables at construction sites. So in this poem, poet has tried to explain how one crane, that is machine, affects the habitat of the other crane, that is bird, due to increasing urbanization. It will become more clear as we go through the poem. So let's get started. Look in your books. The Lost Dances of Cranes. The title of the poem suggests that the poem is about the dances of the cranes, which in present is no longer available or seen because of the development of cities through the construction cranes. Let's read and understand the lines of the poem. Your fields are empty now, only your ghost stands, while cranes of another kind dance cities into being. Your fields are empty now. The poet laments at the loss of crane birds, which she saw dancing in the fields earlier. She is grieved at the sight of the empty fields, where no more cranes are seen dancing at present, as the crane bird is on the verge of extinction due to the human desire to increase urbanization. Only your ghost stands. Here, in the next line, the poet signifies the term ghost as memories. Children, dancing is a part of happiness and ceremonial act of producing no new generation for birds. So here poet wants to say, since so many birds have been lost, there would be only ghosts of the cranes dancing. That is, there would be only memories of the cranes dancing in pleasure. Now let's see the next line. While cranes of another kind dance cities into being. Cranes of another kind here, the poet is talking about the construction machine that is used for lifting and moving heavy objects used at construction site. Here, the poet wants to tell us how this machine or this construction crane, which is used in constructing buildings, is the source for destruction of the environment. So the poet connects the construction cranes to the crane birds, which resemble each other in being tall and thin, But the dance of the crane machine here, that is the movement of crane machine for moving and lifting the heavy objects, does not show any ceremonial act of producing new generation like bird cranes. It rather produces buildings and cities that are destroying the birds as well as environment. So students, that's all for today. I hope you understood today's lecture well. We'll be discussing rest of the stanzas in the next video which will be uploaded very soon. Thank you. Be safe.